Hello and welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. When we last left off, we had started to take this on. So let's continue on that. Let's get as much of the outside done as possible. Okay. Um, I think what my goal for today is to finish this up, which shouldn't take super long. Like, we're at 69%. Nice. Um, but we are also um, due to get started on the next area soon. And I don't remember what opened up, so we'll have to see. Let's make sure we're getting sides. Yeah, I didn't get that side. We will make sure we're getting that. So I think we should be coming up on the halfway point as far as progress in the main quote-unquote story, which is good. Uh, we're about, as of me recording this video, I've already hit 15. I don't know how long the whole game takes. I don't remember. Like I said, I was kind of playing this kind of off in the margins while I was, working the first time. So I just genuinely do not remember how long it took for me to play it, because I was pausing it and coming back to the game at some point. And unfortunately, that is not a good way to tell how long you've been playing the game. Oh, it makes being able to tell how long you've been playing the game. Oh, it's a good thing I saw that. Let's go take care of that. I did not realize that I had not finished that. I think it was... There we go. Um, that was kind of a waste of time. I did not realize I didn't get that. Thought I had. Good thing I saw it. And actually, thinking about it now, I think maybe it might not be a terrible idea to go around and double check, but I do think I have everything else now. Yeah, so I will work on the assumption that I've gotten everything else for the time being, until proven otherwise. But yeah, I didn't really pay attention to how long it was taking me, mostly because I was playing it to kill time, because the job I was working, the way it works was it was not a standard clock. So I didn't clock in at like 9 a.m., work until X time, because I was also working part-time. And as such, I spent a lot of time waiting. And, um, my coworkers, who were also project managers, for the most part, we have a lot of project managers, um, but their job, affected my job. And if they were busy and too busy to check on something, I just kind of had to wait, which was irritating. And it kind of meant that I was spending a lot of time just kind of twiddling my thumbs, which I'm sure you probably are very much aware is kind of irritating. Um, and as I was literally one of three designers, and we had, oh goodness, I think we had like, when I left, I think there were like 5 project managers. And I know they were busy doing other stuff, but it could get really irritating just kind of sitting there. And boy, I hope somebody comes and checks on my work soon. I'd like to be done now. Can't say I'd like to go home because I was working from home. Um, let's see. Let's take care of the first floor interior. And, you know, there's only so much you can do, unfortunately. And that, it's part of the reason that I'm kind of glad I'm not there anymore. Like, there's a part of me that misses it, but there's a part of me that's also, happy to not have to deal with that. A lot of what was that job. Um, and I think I mentioned before, and if I haven't, some of the clients the company worked with, um, I am admittedly ideologically opposed to. And I know that morals don't pay the bills. Sometimes you just kind of have to suck it up, hold your nose, and do it anyway. I know that. Unfortunately, that's kind of the world we live in. But it was also, like, oh hey, we're doing this great thing, and it's like I don't love this client. And I had intended on leaving the company anyway. It's just, I'd expect it to be there longer, and I was hoping to get my feet under me before I had to leave, and that just kind of never happened. So now I'm kind of doing what I can to, get myself ready to find more work, and looking to switch industries because as interesting and fulfilling as graphic design can be, um, one of the most irritating things in the world is a client that doesn't actually know what they want. But they're convinced they do. and then when you ask them, they can't tell you. I love a client that comes prepared. Like, they know exactly what they want. They know that what is and isn't possible. That's another thing. You have a lot of people who are of this belief that Photoshop is like magic, and it's not. Photoshop is not magic. It's not, you know, gonna do all of these tricks, and it's always really nice when you've got somebody that understands that. Um, because you absolutely are going to run into people who don't get it. It's often people who believe that um, Microsoft Word is a valid place to you know edit document edit edit these sorts of things, put these sorts of things together, and pull, or the kind of people who pull that random image off of the internet and goes, "Can you work with this?" No, ma'am. No, I cannot. This is starting to turn into a rant, so I'm going to move on to. I'm going to move on. Um, but yes, for future knowledge, for future reference, if you got it off of Google, I probably can't use it. Um, Not just because of copyright issues, but because it's probably the file size is probably entirely too small. Um, if it's 72 DPI, I can't do a whole lot with it. Despite the fact that a lot of people kind of want me to, I cannot. I am not a miracle worker. I'm not even a particularly talented graphic designer. So, yeah, keep that in mind. If you're gonna pull something off of Google, maybe don't. So we're gonna have to go back down. And we're gonna have to clean up the stairs. There we go. Okay. Let's switch. That's fine. Switch to that. This is actually another kind of fussy spot. The stairs can be a bit much. But, unlike the first time, I actually remembered that you have to clean the bottom of the stairs. Let's see. I think... Yeah, these stairs count as ground floor stairs. Which means that we have to switch back to the 15. So we can clean the bottoms of these stairs. And also, clean that. And be mindful of the fact that there are bits and pieces that we are likely to miss. So, more than anything, it might be a good idea to just take your time. Uh, oh, okay, good. This counts as ground floor as well. Um, so let's do this as well. And clean the windowsill. We have to clean the rest from the outside, which means that it might not be a terrible idea to go out and pull the scaffolding around. There we go. Let's go do that. Okay. There we go. Because you can start on this right here. There we go. Here we are. It is always important to make sure that you're keeping up with yourself, too. You know, there's nothing like we saw. There's nothing quite like getting ahead and then moving on to the next section and realizing that you still have more to do. Let's grab that. Wonder if I can use the ladder here. No, I didn't think so. Okay, we'll go put that back. Cool. There. Not around. Go on the other side. Wow, okay. Let's start the process of cleaning this section of the wall anyway. But speaking of career changes, I've been looking into data analytics. I don't know a ton about the field. I just know that given my circumstances, it may actually be a viable option as far as work goes. Having something that I can do from home is always going to be preferred, given, again, given my circumstances. I don't mind going out to work, but I don't even mind going out in general, but I also recognize that having a really long commute time is not even remotely ideal, given that I use public transit. Uh, and I think I've mentioned before, we only have one mode of public transit in my city. So you're not like even getting, oh, I can just catch a train or I can do this. Yeah, there's like Lyft and Uber, but that only gets you so much. Um, okay, put that there. That should be close enough. Yeah. Um, and because we only have buses, uh, and because we don't have, a really good, robust transit system, not only can the commutes be really long, they can also be kind of terrible in that if you rely on public transit and you miss the bus, you are stuck in some of these places for an hour. And it's because, these are further out areas, so they are of less priority. Which, kind of a pain. Not gonna lie. Uh, and yeah, there are offices in the downtown area, which means the commute would be shorter, but it's still A, not a guarantee, and B, like, if I find myself finding something in the suburban areas, am I actually going to be able to get out there? So, for that purpose, I mostly just been prioritizing looking into the remote places. Uh, that feels better-ish. Still not great, but yeah. I I I want I would love to be able to get out and be able to, do more. And I don't need, like I said, I don't even much mind commuting. It's just with regards to all of that, it's exhausting. And it's you there's nothing quite like getting off work and feeling so run down that all you can do is veg out for the rest of the day. That it does. Okay. Um, we'll go back in. Yep. Like I said, you can cheese a surprising amount of stuff. Uh, I I don't want to have to deal with that. Like I'm already running in a lot of instances on a low battery anyway, but adding that on top of it just that would take the cake. And I don't know if I've got the gumption for it, honestly. I've mostly been talking about working. So I think I mentioned. Oh, oh, okay. think I mentioned in the last video that I wanted to definitively have a decent amount done as far as recording goes. One, because I like being ahead of myself, and two, because specifically this week, as of when I'm recording this, and I did mention this, um, Hosier has an album coming out. In fact, it comes out at the end of this week. Like I said, as of me recording this. And I am looking forward to being emotionally devastated and taking the time to just be in my feelings about the very lovely music that this man puts out. Um, I've already, he's already released a surprising amount of the album. Uh, Currently, there's Francesca, All Things In, Eat Your Young, DeSelby Part 2, and, like, French, not Francesca, All Things In and Eat Your Young were part of the Eat Your Young EP that he released this past spring, and it was really good, and I really thoroughly liked it, and, um, I would like to state for the record that this is actually the first album of his that I've caught the release for. I did mention this as well, uh, because I wasn't listening to him when, oh, I have a little friend. Hello, little dude. Oh well. Um, Thought I saw something crawling, but I was not aware that I had a little spider friend. I don't know where it went though. Oh well. Uh, um, but I was not aware. I was not listening to his music when his first album was released, and I wasn't listening to it when his second one was. And it has been a very long time since I have been, uh, well, it hasn't been that long. It's been a few years. Um, because I was and still am, a very much a Linkin Park fan, and I was listening to them. I had started listening to them fairly early. Meteora was their first album of mine. Uh, and I was listening when Minutes to Midnight came out. I couldn't buy it when it first came out, and this was like, I don't want to say it was before streaming, but it was it was kind of before streaming. So the most you were getting was YouTube videos for the most part. Uh, and as such, I kind of missed I kind of missed getting excited and the the inevitable kind of conversations and the fan run listening parties and all of that. The last one I did, of course, was One More Light, and I will not hear anything about that album. Thank you very much. If you've got feelings about it, you've got feelings about it. You are entitled to those feelings, but I am also entitled to my feelings, and I thought it was a damn good album. Um, that being said, there we go. Um, that was the last time I distinctly. Oh, that's the. Actually, should try and clean that bit because that is the. Yeah. Okay. That's just the frame. Uh, that was. Uh, I have not had the that feeling of um music-based community for a while, and I miss it. And admittedly, because I have been on the internet for a very long time now, I inevitably am immediately wary of this sort of thing because it almost always goes the same way. So I love engaging in fan spaces, but I'm also I I'm old enough to remember when none of this has gone well. And unfortunately, it kind of always devolves into that. There's always like nonsensical petty squabbles going on. I distinctly remember, the they changed their sound, now it sucks argument that a lot of Linkin Park fans engaged in when Minutes to Midnight was released. Oh, it's different. Clearly, this album sucks, and now it's like, oh, this is not something I want to engage in. Uh, so I tend to tread very lightly in fan spaces because it can be exhausting sometimes. But I'm, for the most part, really enjoying engaging in this space because like, I won't say it's 100% wholesome because, let's be honest here, it never is 100% wholesome. But it feels better in a lot of ways. Um, and I don't know why it feels better. It just feels better. And I don't know if that's like, well, he's not a rock artist, and how divisive the rock fandom can. Yeah, I said it. Rock fandom can be. Um, like rock bands can't agree on simple definitions of, you know, what constitutes a thing. You know, you know, if you ask a rock fan what constitutes metal, you're going to get a different answer depending on who you ask. And that's fine. I'm not mad at that, but uh, you also have this sort of, for lack of a better way to put it, kind of dick measuring contests about, oh, is this artist really a rock artist, or are they more you know, an alt art. I said, what does alt even mean? And I'm on a tangent again. But, you know, fact remains, it's can still be really exhausting, and I'm, you know, cautiously optimistic about how the fans of Hosier and fans in the space behave. Um, and I think it's kind of one of those situations where it's partially because he doesn't really doesn't kind of exude that energy. And I'm not saying like Linkin Park did, but there's 6 dudes and that was chaos. Or so yeah, I am prepared to be emotionally devastated. I'm going to go get like snacks so that I can hole up and just listen to the album and be in my feelings this weekend. There we go. And it looks like we are a good chunk of the way through. We still need to clean outside, so I should probably go. Yeah, okay. Uh, let's clean up the frame. And, I'd say I'm excited for movies, but, first and foremost, as is as was requested by both SAG-AFTRA and the WGA, I'm not going to be promoting any movies, so I'm not going to be talking about anything. Also, I don't watch a ton of movies anyway. I have a terrible attention span, unfortunately, and it means that paying attention to movies is really difficult for me. Um, also deal with a really bad bout of secondhand embarrassment, so movies are rough. Um, I've absolutely had movies that I was super stoked about and really genuinely loved, but got hit with such a bad wave of secondhand embarrassment that I couldn't continue watching it. Paused it for a good hour or so before I was able to come back and continue. And that feels like that says something, but I don't know what it could be. Um, let's clean the outside of this windowsill while we're at it. And I think because of how far along we are, I think I'm just going to push through and finish this one and call it good for this video. Um, not now, but I think this I was gonna try and get more done faster and or I guess I was maybe hoping to get more done faster and just sort of move on from here to the next area, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen, so we won't force it. but we are also near the top of the tower. There we go. Of course, I have to do the other sides, but, like, there we go. I also don't love doing this part of the tower. This bit of the tower is kind of a pain. Yep. Up. And just keep going. And I said this before at the beginning. This feels like one of the only places that can justify being this filthy. A little further gone than I'm sure is should be the case. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, this feels like this is a place that's constantly on fire. Of course it's filthy. Um, the, and I'm sure the lichen makes sense. The soot makes sense. The lichen makes sense. I might even be able to say that the mud makes sense, but some of these places are just unjustifiably filthy. Like, why is your house that dirty? Were you, were you just, like, practicing your trebuchet skills on your house with mud buckets? 'Cause that's the only way that makes sense. And now I kind of want to see somebody practicing their trebuchet skills with mud buckets. And of course, we are coming to that part of the year. And if you're not from the States, um, there is a tradition. It might be a tradition in other places too, but I think I've only ever seen it talked about in regards to the States. But there is a phenomenon in the States, especially in agrarian areas, known as pumpkin chunkin'. And I cannot explain that. It is what it is. Okay. Move on to the side. Up. And I don't live in an area where it's really a thing, unfortunately. Uh, but every year, you get a bunch of people, you get a trebuchet, or a catapult. I can never tell the difference. I cannot tell you what the difference between those two things are. I think a catapult has a bucket and a trebuchet doesn't? But regardless, you get yourself a launching device, and you take pumpkins, and you launch them, and you, I think, see how far they can go, but you also kind of do it because it's just the process of launching large objects far distances, because I believe they do it with cars occasionally. Um, is just, it fuels that appetite for destruction. Um, I don't know what that says about people, other than, watch things go boom, boom go, watch things go boom, boom go nice, or boom nice. Oh, there we go. But, I'm not here to judge. I like when things go boom too. And I don't know if that's an American thing, like I said, or if that's just a human nature thing. But whatever it is, it is. Clean that bit. Okay. I have to go around the other side. That's fine. I didn't realize how much of that I had to clean. But yeah, no, I don't know if that's like specifically an American thing or if that's just you know, a general human nature thing. And if it's an American thing, that might explain, fireworks and why people just, from the time, if you live in a colder area, from the time it stops being too cold to be outside long term like that to uh, the time where it starts being cold outside, too cold outside to be out there like that, uh, might explain why it's just a thing. Okay. Um, because that's just kind of a thing, It gets warm outside. It gets decently warm outside and decently warm long enough, and people go buy fireworks, or they start setting off the stockpile that they bought the prior year, which feels really appropriate. I don't know what about it feels appropriate, but it just does. Go. Any more of that? Oh, I'm half tempted to switch to one of the wider ones, mostly because I feel like it would work out a little better, but we're also making decent headway, and I don't want to stop. Oh, Cool. Awesome. Nice. Means we can go all the way back, and now we can just go from here. So the outside is completely taken care of. And we can just focus on the remainder of the interior. Which should not take too much longer. But if, stop getting stuck on the stairs. Okay. Awesome. And I know it looks like, hey, there is very much very visible dirt there, but it's not the visible stuff I'm looking for. Because it's almost never the thing that gets you. It's the little nooks and crannies and crevices that you miss that add up weirdly well. And now you're, like, stuck cleaning because you missed that one section. So if you're ever curious as to that, why that's a thing I'm doing, that's why. It is never the visible stuff. It's always that invisible piece that you missed that adds up to a whole percentage, or enough of a percentage that it won't tick the box. Like, the frames are going to be a nightmare, because I'm probably going to have to go all the way back, and I'm probably going to have to double check frames to make sure that I've gotten them all. Which is fine. It's just, it's kind of like the wall at the skate park. I missed enough of that wall that it didn't ding. And, oof. This is all collective. So it's not just... this one section is this floor. So I have to be mindful of that. So, like, right there. All of this is probably enough to add up to enough to stop the floor from being considered done. And unfortunately, kind of a pain. I know it said it's fine, but still. And you've got the corners of the stairs that you occasionally miss, or often miss, but then occasionally are antonyms. There we go. There we are. That's that for finish. And we've got frames done. And hope, and from the looks of it, I should be all set. Let's clean that bit. So it doesn't ping. So it does ping, rather. We've got there is enough of something missing. That right. Huh. Yeah, that'll do it. Like, that was a glaring issue that I completely just bypassed, so that's on me. Making sure we're getting underneath. Making sure we're getting up top. There you go. First, we've got this bit here. There we go. pool, we're going to have to pull out either the metal cleaner or we're going to have to... I think the metal cleaner might work best here, given the way this is all set. And I'm sure I could probably use, like, step stool or something, but this just... the curious nature just feels right. Yeah, see? Um... Um, one, get down. Two, three. Ace. Back to the 15. Base wall, which I think is outside. Bro, let's see. Yeah, it should flash. But I don't... not that. Not that one. No. Ah, okay. Okay. And office walls. Uh-oh. The office. Um... It's not up there. It's just a wall. Not that. Yeah. AFA, any chance you could come and hose down the spare truck? Mayor's running us ragged over here. That took way longer than I was hoping it would. But, there we go. So actually, that is where I'm going to call it for today. So I have been dorking up. This has been PowerWash Simulator, and when we come back, we are going to do, we're going to start with the penny for a thing and move our way around. And if you enjoyed this video, or any of the videos in this series, or any of the videos I've ever done, consider leaving this video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel, which helps metrics. And consider hitting the notification bell so you know when I upload, even if it is really regular. I also have a coffee. You can find me at coffee.com/dorknaut. That is ko-fi.com/dorknaut if you are so inclined to leave a tip. But please do not feel obligated. Um, but yeah, come see me again sometime, won't you? Goodbye.